And at the risk of sounding like one of those classic talking head VanLifers who simply wobbles his head and talks about stuff that wasn't filmed, that's what's happening right now. Yeah, talking bobblehead. Talking about stuff that he didn't film, but you know, I wasn't going to say to these people, hey, I have a YouTube channel, and I have 1,000 viewers, and I was wondering if you cash in hand jippos would like to be famous. No, of course not. But what felt good, right, was getting out of bed early, putting on some clean clothes, turning up for work, meeting the gaffer, lifting up some heavy machinery, going off to a site. Actually felt good having a bit of banter with some other labourers. Even though I didn't get anything out of it, that's what I got out of it, was almost the pride in work. Remember that? Work and colleagues, teams. A man can dream, can't he? One day, my pretty, one day. We should all be flying that, really, because our flag has been taken over by an enemy. Butterscotch Angel Delight. Oh yeah. Thank you, Ben. When you get to my age, you're a bit out of practice with this sort of thing. That is to say, it's a long time since I've been a cocktail waiter. What were you thinking? What are people thinking in suburbia? Although, let's face it, if I were the kind of person that edited my behaviour based upon what I imagined other people that I don't know were thinking, can you imagine? I'd be a very different person indeed. Imagine that, being subject to the imagined snobbery of strangers. It's like a mental illness, isn't it? Some call it civilization. Etiquette. Social norms. Well, this is the new normal. And I'm not even going to use a bowl and spoon. Remember a few months ago when I was still keen about washing up and stuff? Oh, those days are well behind me. Worrying about 3 days between showers? Now I can do a straight 6, easy. 7 at a push. Thanks, Ben. That was delicious, man. Well, I couldn't agree more, old chap. And you'll all be pleased to know that I got through that 2.5 litres of water in a couple of days. And although it meant extra urination at night, it wasn't actually much more anyway. And does it make a difference to my health? No. You've got to be really going for it to have a comorbidity. I mean, look at the way I treat myself, and I'm just fit as a butcher's dog. Oh, good Lord. Look at the state of that old tractor. Actually got chipboard walls. I wonder if it still works. All it seems to be missing, really, is the battery. This is the 2014 Mercedes Vito long wheelbase Traveliner with smoked windows. A man can dream, can't he? It's so dark in the middle of the day under these grey clouds that the street lamp has come on. I don't know whether it's just a East Anglia thing, but haven't noticed any of these walks or national parks being closed off like they did at the peak of the madness in 2020. Is that the skylark? No, don't stop singing because of me. I think I've been wearing this uniform long enough. I mean, obviously the socks with sandals, they're staying. But I think, you know, the sweatpants with the hole in them and just a undergarment and a jumper. Yeah, I should change that, switch that up now the weather's getting warmer. I think I have an idea that you'll like. And you'll know when I've done it. That was the hill in Norfolk. Hello. Hello. There is a concept in Buddhism called the path, Dharma, and you know the difference between when you're on the path and when you're not, because the walk is so much easier. That's all I'm going to say about it. I mean, some philosophers use the concept of the center, as in, you know, the center of awareness, of calm, of stillness. But with the time dimension, that strings out into the path is the place you must tread for the least problems. Sometimes life may throw at you some obstacles like this, but there's still a choice of easier paths. Like that looks like sketchy, that looks possible, and that looks just too easy, so I'm going to take the possible one just to challenge myself a bit. But really, unless you're using Sanskrit to describe these concepts, you can only do them by analogy. Yeah, why not? And you might think that that little scrabble up the leafy, dusty cliff through the hawthorn bushes was an unpleasant journey. But compared to the alternative of staying on what appeared to be the easier path, it actually cut my journey down by over a minute. Just that little 5-second run. Now we're just coming up to the point where I arrived at last time, right there. And why is that in a van life video? I mean, you could drive round in a car and go and see interesting places. Yeah, but are you? Huh? Or are you cowering in fear at whatever the news tells you? Get yourself injected or you're going to die from this and that. Yeah, good luck with that. But what I'm trying to show you is that if you have a sound grasp of philosophy and psychology and science, not the science, you don't need a belief system, because you can find out what's happening for yourself. Whereas, as I said earlier, if you do come with the baggage of a belief system, you will accept only what confirms that belief and reject everything, even the truth, that goes against that belief. Think about that before you consolidate your next opinion. Oh, your dogs are beautiful. It's like when I went into VanLife, I didn't really have much idea of what I was in for. I just knew that all other options had been shut. So I had followed a bit of Brett, Van City VanLife and Foresty Forest in Canada. And yeah, so I didn't even know, what the established style was of making a van or making a VanLife video. So I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? Yeah, that's enough of that. But if you are going to do an honest depiction of van life, warts and all, the rainy days and the sunny days, the problems and the joys together, then we must all hail Brett, really the king of British gritty realism van life. Hands down, no question. What a guy. If you speak from the heart, you don't need a script. The 2017 Citroen Dispatch long wheelbase. A man can dream, can't he? It's the sort of thing you'd want to do when you're retired, isn't it? Just have a nice little slow camper van cruise around Norfolk. Not be snatched from your career at the height of your powers and forced to do this without choice. Although the number of ways of escaping this globalist...
In 200 yards, continue straight onto Back Street.
Although the number of ways of escaping this global medical tyranny horror were limited, I seem to have found a rather pleasant one.